everybody, it's Trish, and I'm here to bring you my June wrap-up. Hey everybody, and welcome to my June wrap-up. First of all, I want to apologize for how crappy I look today. I have an ear infection in my left ear, so not only can I not hear out of it, but it's pretty painful, so I haven't been feeling all that great the past couple days, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video recorded because June is almost over and I'm not going to finish any more books before then. So I have read a total of 9 books this month, and I think that some of the reason that I was able to even get that many done is because I was working over the weekend at work during days, and it's pretty slow, so during our downtime I would read a lot, and I got through a lot more than I expected. First book that I finished in June was Rogue by Julie Kagawa. This is the sequel to Talon and the second book in the Talon saga. I did a review to Talon, which I will link in the description below. I was pretty disappointed in this sequel. There was just a lot of things that I didn't really care for in it. I lost some respect for some of the characters that I really liked in the first book, and it was not my favorite sequel. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. And at the end, I gave it 2.5 stars. I still plan to finish the trilogy because Soldier comes up sometime next year, and I'm really hoping it's better than this one, because this just, it was okay. The next 3 books I read are the first 3 books from the Vampire Academy, so that's Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss. And I did get these 3 books from thrift books, so that's why the covers don't match, but that's okay because I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about this series to begin with, but I didn't want to borrow it from the library because I'm really bad about returning library books, so I bought them for cheap, and it's okay. The series itself is okay. It's not great, it's kind of tweeny for my liking, but it's not so bad that I won't finish the rest of the series. It's just not a huge priority at this moment. A lot of the times through the first 3 books, I found myself wanting to really just choke the life out of Rose because she could be so arrogant and she could be so shitty to the people around her. I feel like I probably would like this series more if I was back in my vampire phase, which I'm not. I kind of did myself out on vampires, but it's still not a bad series, so I give it 3 stars. I will continue the rest sometime, probably before the year is out. The next book that I read in June was Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. This is the companion sequel to Anna and the French Kiss, which I loved. I really enjoyed Lola and the Boy Next Door, probably not as much as I did Anna and the French Kiss, but it was still a pretty enjoyable read, and I thought Cricket Bell was just so cute. I don't know if maybe it was his name or the fact that he just liked Lola so much, but I really enjoyed it. Because once in a while, I just really enjoy a good contemporary fluffy read. I gave this book a 3.5 stars. The next book that I read is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I did a review for this that I'll link in the description below as well, and if you watch that, you know that I absolutely loved this book. It was so good, and I've just been trying to push it on pretty much everybody I know because it is so awesome. It's about Lilac and Tarver, and they crash on an unknown planet, and they have to depend on each other to survive, and it's a really nice love story. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read in June is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I knew a little bit about what I was getting into when I started reading this because I had watched the review that Sam over at Thoughts on Tomes did, and I was really not disappointed in how this book turned out. It's told from the perspective of Tinkerbell, who is mute in this book, and I just loved it so much. It was such a great book. I already loved Peter Pan as a fairy tale, so getting to see this perspective and a little bit more on Tiger Lily was just really great. I loved the fact that there were some diverse characters in this, and one of the characters' name is TikTok, and he is a transgender, which I thought was really cool. Tiger Lily is a book that I would definitely recommend, and I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read in June was Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is actually the first book by Neil Gaiman that I've ever read, and I'm actually kind of glad that it was the first book because I wasn't really sure how I was going to like his writing, and it's very short. It's less than 300 pages. I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed this book because sometimes adult fantasy and I don't really see eye to eye, and I was a little bit hesitant, but again, I found this on thrift books and it was pretty cheap, so I picked it up, and I'm really glad that I did. This is about a boy named Tristan. I know that's not the right way to say it because it's spelled Tristan. So it's like Tristan. I can't say it. So I've just been calling him Tristan throughout the series. Tristan is in love and he tells his true love that he is going to go and find a falling star that they saw one night, and if he does this, she will give him whatever he desires. Doesn't really turn out how he plans, but it was still a great ending, and I really loved it, and I recommend it, and I gave this a 4.5 stars. And the last book that I read in June was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Let me tell you, I was not sure what I was getting into with this book, but holy crap, it was so good, and I loved it. It follows the story of 4 boys that go to a prep school and a girl named Blue, who is the only non-psychic in her very psychic family. They are searching for the ley lines, which are magical energy beneath the surface of the earth that will lead them to a legendary lost king. I'm not going to say any more than that because you really just need to read it because it's so good. I was not sure if I was going to like this, but I'm so glad that I picked it up, and literally it's probably going to become my favorite series because I'm already reading the second book. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So that's it for my June wrap up. If you've read any of these books, leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you thought of them. And I'll see you for my July TBR.